This is the best looking penny stock for 2024.
This small cap company is operating in one of the hottest sectors in the stock market, and the big boys are just starting to notice.
Welcome to the Bean Pod. This is your place for all things stocks and crypto. From beginner tips to expert picks. Use this as fuel for your investing journey, because when you're in the know, your money will grow.
This episode of the Bean Pod is sponsored by BitGet.
BitGet is the most user-friendly and secure crypto trading platform for both beginners and experienced traders.
BitGet is the best place to not only trade Bitcoin and Ethereum, but also all the small cap gems that we discuss every day.
With 24/7 customer support, leverage trading, and a wide array of other advanced features, BitGet sets itself apart from every other centralized exchange.
Through Beanstalk's official partnership with BitGet, you'll receive 15% off all trading fees when you sign up using the referral link in the description.
All views expressed by speakers on the Bean Pod are solely their opinions. You should not treat any opinion expressed on the Bean Pod as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a specific strategy, but only as an expression of their opinion. This podcast is for informational purposes only.
Welcome to the Bean Pod. This is Shane, aka the Jolly Green Investor.
And this is Josh, the Nifty Investor.
Today, we're going to be talking about one of the best looking penny stocks for 2024.
This operates in one of the hottest sectors in the stock market right now. And the reason we wanted to highlight it is because the big boys are starting to take notice. What do we mean by that?
Yeah, so, all right. If you've been following us for a while, you may have seen an episode we did over a year ago about uranium stocks. Now, the reason we did this, and we'll kind of go through this, is because we saw that the uranium sector was going to be on fire. All you had to do was look at the warnings given by Elon Musk. He said, look, the world needs to get behind nuclear power. It's one of the most clean energies that can actually power. I think he said, what's the figure here? Electricity demand will double by 2040 due to all these electric vehicles, electric things that are powering, replacing fossil fuels, right? So we have this massive increase in demand for electricity. And he says, look, we need nuclear power to carry a lion's share of this. Now, obviously, you know that uranium is the chemical that powers nuclear. So that's why we think uranium is continuing to be a red hot sector.
Well, it's nearly doubled in 2023. And there was also the conflicts that occurred or are still occurring over in Europe between Ukraine and Russia. And they were such massive oil exporters. So you have to find a new way of kind of self-governing and regulating your own energy versus relying on these exports.
Yeah, 100%.
So, but to that point, we like to look at smaller cap projects in crypto. Sometimes we like to find some potentially smaller cap stocks that could benefit from the narrative and from this hot sector. And typically, when it has a small market cap, that's when you can compare it to the larger boys with the bigger market caps. But something's occurring right now, right?
Yeah.
What is that thing?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. So we have some really, really cool things about this specific company that we'll talk about later in the episode. So make sure you watch this one to the end. But I really want to drive home the point of why uranium and nuclear is such a hot sector. So, okay, we saw the warning from Elon Musk. We know uranium powers nuclear. But look at what's happening in the world over the last year, 2 years. So the United Kingdom has announced a massive plan to increase nuclear capacity. The USA government is showing tons of money to get nuclear going. Japan, Netherlands, Germany, France, and Finland. They're all restarting reactors, building new reactors, or putting money into nuclear. So what you're seeing is a massive trend in the world, which is going to continue to go for years. Because, obviously some people think, nuclear, Chernobyl, blah, blah, blah. But actually, the trend is ESG and carbon free, and that is nuclear. And all of these big countries that are providing the world's electricity are saying, look, nuclear is the future. Obviously, solar power, wind, and all that kind of stuff, it has a role to play as well. But nuclear, you can see the writing on the wall. Countries are throwing millions and billions at nuclear. And with the supply shortage of uranium, which is needed for nuclear, this sector, I think, is going to continue to run for years.
Yeah, I mean, the land footprint is so small. I think a typical 1K megawatt nuclear facility only needs 1 square mile.
Yep.
Whereas wind farms require 360 times more land to produce the same amount of energy.
Right.
Solar, 75 more times.
Interesting.
Then it's how much waste is produced from uranium? one uranium pellet equals, so this is one, like imagine like a thing that a rabbit eats.
Yeah.
One uranium pellet equals 70,000 cubic feet of natural gas.
Right.
It equals 120 gallons of oil. It equals 1 ton of coal. So that's the waste byproduct.
Yep.
You're getting one little pellet.
Yeah.
And like it's so much cleaner and better.
For
right?
sure. Yeah, I mean, that's why we've seen the price of uranium has doubled?
Yeah, double in 2023.
In the past year. So what you're going to see is the money flow from the large cap leaders, which we've already seen, into the small cap companies. And that's why today we think it's the perfect time to talk about Lexston Mining Corporation, because as you alluded to earlier, some very interesting developments have come out of their camp.
Which we're finally going to get to about that, what's going on, why the big boys are taking notice. But, typically when you're looking to these uranium companies, you look to NextEra, you look to like General Electric or Uranium Energy Corp. But we wanted to highlight one that's a bit smaller and what the big boys are taking notice of.
For sure. So Lexston Mining Corporation, what have they got going on? The news that's been coming out of their camp over the last little while is that they've been exploring properties in northern Canada, which has some of the world's highest grade uranium. And they found an area which has historically produced high grade uranium, but some of the, it gets really technical when you talk about, the quality of the uranium. There's all kinds of readings. So we don't really need to get into that. But what you need to know, and this is the important part, is that the area of land that they are exploring and developing for uranium is potentially so lucrative that all of the other large caps, or what you could call quote unquote big uranium, they're all clamoring to stake area in the region around Lexston Mining Corporation, right? So typically in the world of uranium or mining at all, the big boys are going to find the best areas because they have the best technology and the most funding, right? And then the small cap companies will try to find the land around them. But this is flipped on its head. We have the small cap company who has the best spot, and all the large caps are going around them.
That's sick. That's huge. And this basin in Canada is considered one of the 3 largest in the world. So over 160 million tons has been found to date.
Right.
And, maybe these areas have been explored in the past and all these things, like back in the 60s and 70s. But no, I feel like a lot of people forget that exploration technology has like increased exponentially.
Yeah.
So there's brand new exploration techniques for far more advanced exploration.
Right.
So you're able to find the uranium quicker, easier, cheaper, etc. So this is the time to be looking at it.
And that lends itself to smaller cap companies, right? Because in the past, technology is slower, more expensive. That only can really be afforded by these companies that have a market cap of over 100 million, right? But now with the advent of new mining and exploration technologies in the uranium sector specifically, it allows these smaller cap companies to, one, find the high grade uranium, and two, develop it at a much faster and lower cost than before. So if you take a look at a bit of comparison, again, this is not financial advice. We're just sharing our research and opinion. We think it's really interesting. So Lexston Mining Corporation, their market cap right now is around 3 million. The other 4 companies that have clamored to stake the area around them, their market caps range from 50 to 100 million. They were there before Aetha Uranium, who has 130 million market cap. This company saw that they had like I don't know, this is, again, it's a little technical, 38% sample grade. This is very, very good in the uranium exploration field. And all of these large cap uranium companies said, oh my God, like look what Lexston Mining Corporation is doing. They've all clamored, all these large caps, around what Lexston is doing. And I can't drive this point home enough because this news is massive.
Yeah, and look, they're building a strong portfolio. They have multiple projects in the area as well. It's not just the one building, one mining site. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on here. I think when you have these big companies, for me, that's like the biggest selling point. Is like the big companies are starting to jump in right where these guys are extracting and trying to find the uranium.
Yep.
To me, that just says, look, there's obviously something there, and they're producing really high results with the 38%. So it seems like they're onto something. For
sure. And yeah, look, if you've been following us, we as Josh mentioned earlier in the episode, we kind of take the same approach to stocks as we do to crypto in some ways, where it's like, look, this is a small cap stock. As I said, the market cap is 3 million. The risk is high. The reward is high, right? Just like we do with small cap cryptos. You're never going to get 100x in the stock market or the crypto market if you're going to invest in the large cap leader of the uranium industry, which already has a $300 million market cap. Very unlikely you're going to get 100x. It is possible, obviously, again, not financial advice, but it is possible with these smaller cap stocks. Lexston Mining Corporation. The ticker is LEXT or LEXTF on OTC in America. $3 million market cap. They're making some insane moves. They have all the big boys following them. So yeah, look, high risk, high reward, but very, very interesting time for this company.
There's some goals for the U.S. to, 100% carbon pollution free by 2035. Already a fifth of the U.S. is running on nuclear. People don't even realize. You got infrastructure bills for like billions of dollars in nuclear credits.
Yep.
So there's a lot of catalysts and tailwinds behind a company like Lexston as well.
Yeah, for sure. So you have a red hot uranium sector, which the entire world is throwing money at. You have all of the big boys in the industry following Lexston Mining Corp. So I think they're basically set up for what potentially could be. That's why we called it one of the best looking penny stocks for 2024. And that's why we decided to officially partner with Lexston Mining Corporation for this episode. So thank you to them for that. And yeah, look, if you have any questions about the company or the uranium sector, let us know in the comments.
Hey, make sure you guys tune into the next episode.
That one is going to be a banger.
All views expressed by speakers on the BeanPod are solely their opinions. You should not treat any opinion expressed on the BeanPod as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a specific strategy, but only as an expression of their opinion. This podcast is for informational purposes only.